Everybody has had a chance to look at
Turn your mic on, bro.
Has everyone had a chance to look at the agenda?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to adopt agenda for February the 1st, 2024, Grambling Legends Square Taxing District?
I make a motion that we approve the agenda, for adoption of agenda dated today's date with one minor edit. The regular meeting, that should be 5 o'clock rather than 4:30.
All right. Thanks, John. I will make that correction. All in favor?
So move. Second.
Second. Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Brown with the necessary correction of 5 o'clock p.m. and second by Councilman Lewis. Ready for the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Have you had a chance to read the previous minutes?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to adopt the previous minutes, which is
So move.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Linda. Just a brief introduction on both. Mr. Johnson is a former cattle commissioner. He's also a good public servant in the city of Shreveport, fine young man, very knowledgeable on a lot of subjects. He's always trying to help people, and he's helping me right now because I was kind of ignorant on all this stuff, and he volunteered to come down here and kind of do a question and answer period to give us exactly what a TIF is and what it's designed to do. Councilwoman Taylor has, obviously, she's a public servant, still a councilwoman, and she's also agreed to assist us as we proceed toward understanding exactly what a TIF district is and the benefits that it has for the citizens of Grambling. So I guess I'll yield the floor to both, or either, however they want to start out, and I would simply suggest that they begin by maybe telling us the benefits of a TIF district. And just for the council's, for the taxing district's edification, we do have a TIF district already set up in the city of Grambling. So we need to figure out how we're supposed to utilize it. So I yield the floor to Mr. Johnson and Ms. Taylor.
It's working.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Lyndon Johnson. As mentioned, I was a cattle parish commissioner for 13 years. I did establish a TIF district in my district, which was District 2. Me and Ms. Taylor, we basically overlap where she's inside the city limits and I'm inside and outside the city limits. The TIF district that we established in Caddo Parish in District 2 was one in which Walmart wanted to come in and establish a store. And the landowner basically had initially, it was residential area. So it had to be rezoned to commercial property. So we rezoned it to commercial property. Walmart came in, bought the property that they needed, did all the engineering studies, did all the drainage, did most of the infrastructure in that particular area. And at that point, they started building. We didn't have to go out for any type of special bonds, anything, because they financed the whole deal. It was inside the parish and outside any city boundary, so therefore we didn't have to involve any of the municipalities in doing so. When we drew the district, one thing that which y'all has already been drawn, but one thing that you have to know when you draw a district, if you draw it where there is no population, the public doesn't have to vote on it. It's the governing body that will then vote on it. But if there's one residence in that particular area, then it has to go on ballot. So we drew the district where there was no one there, established the district, and as we established the district, Walmart came, they built. From that point, we've got a tire store, a Wendy's, a Taco Bell, I think it's 2 urgent care facilities, like 3 banks, an auto zone, and there's speculation of building a hotel. So it's growing, and it's been growing ever since. TIFs are set up they can be set up a lot of different ways. And so you have to know how you set it up from the beginning, because they could be set up ad valorem, which is on your property tax, and basically you're looking at increase in property tax from what it was to what it will be with the growth. And then you can set it up also with sales tax. And so you use the basis of what you got as sales tax already, and then you say, well, in order to do some of these projects we want to do, how much money we need to raise, and then over a period of time, you can do a incremental tax increase on top of the sales tax. So what that means is, I'm just throwing some numbers out, if the city of Grambling has 4% sales tax, and the TIF, you want to be able to do some projects within the TIF, you would then put either 0.5% or a whole percent, or whatever percent you desire that is going to make you get to the point where you need to be at to do that. So instead of a 4.6%, it becomes a 4.65 or 4.1, or 5.1, or it could be a whole 5.6. So it's depending on where you want to land that extra tax, because that's on top of your original sales tax. And I can stop right there for any questions. Yes. So when you buy something, you're paying state tax, city tax, and so if you do the TIF and you add on top of that, it goes on top of your established tax.
So they should have already been established by ordinance.
It should be.
Yeah. So your tax is already established by ordinance, correct?
Right.
Okay. So you should have a separate trust fund, what we will call a special account, where those dollars are already allocated. Okay. So you all are already established, so from that particular point, it is actually going in and looking at what the TIF was designed for and what particular projects you all look to do in order to grow, because of you having that TIF district already established.
I have a question. Are we limited to what we could use those TIF monies for? Are we limited?
Yes.
Okay. And what are they?
They should be outlined.
And then I read it, and I wasn't quite sure.
Where yours is, according to March 12, 2012, a bill relative to the city of Grambling to provide the creation of a special taxing district and political subdivision of the state and the city to provide for cooperative economic development among the city of Grambling, state of Louisiana, and the district in order to provide for construction, infrastructure, renovation, development of certain properties within the city to provide for governance of the district and its boundaries and its rights, powers, and duties, including taxing authority to provide relative to financing of district activities and expenses, including incremental financing, issuance of revenue bonds, and other financing allowed by law, to provide relative to the authority of this district to levy a tax on hotel occupancy and all other taxable sales within the district, which shall supersede and be levied in lieu of all or part of all other state and local taxes provided by law. That
Okay.
is your ordinance.
And that is the ordinance. So we saying anything as far as the infrastructure is concerned, we can use those monies toward that
Within that district.
within that district.
Within
That's
that
what I'm
district.
asking.
Yes, sir.
Within that
Yes, sir.
district.
So
Okay, we
you
could use it.
actually have this, if I would turn your leveraging power for
Mm-hmm.
that district with these particular funds, especially when it comes to the creation of economic development, how you can use this as this particular incentive in order to be able to do that.
To bring other folks,
Correct.
bring more in. But
Correct.
we only can generate the TIFs monies to do this from the point, let's say 0.5%. We can only use what we get from that. Can the city come in and help supplement that to a certain extent?
Yes,
It can?
yes.
Okay.
You can supplement it with state grants. The parish might have some grants out there, federal government grants. You can utilize all that. Any type of money you can bring in. It only limits you that you can only use it within the TIF.
Within the
Right.
TIF.
With the TIF
And
money.
that's the TIF
the
money.
TIF money.
But
Right.
any other monies,
Right.
okay.
Yes.
I got you.
Then also with y'all's, you also have a deal with the hotel occupancy. So that means that if you build a hotel within the TIF, you can also charge a tax on top of the regular taxes that you would have for the hotel.
Correct.
Okay.
That would be
Great.
a TIF hotel tax.
Hotel tax.
Occupancy tax. Occupancy.
Okay.
Which would be a benefit, especially to the city of Grambling during football season.
Oh gosh, it would be, wouldn't it? It would be, it would be.
Yes.
Any type of special
Yes.
event you have here.
But I was noticing that, it was saying the incentives that we could give out there to them. You was talking about the infrastructure and different things like that, but as far as helping them along with anything else that's involved in the construction of said hotel or whatever.
Well, I mean, basically, what you want to bring in is franchise.
Right.
So when franchises come in, they gonna have that money for construction.
Correct.
Right.
They're gonna have that money for infrastructure to tie in their business into your established infrastructure. What you need the money for is to make sure that your infrastructure that they want to tie into, the water,
Because it's
the
there what
sewer,
they need.
utilities, is there.
Absolutely.
So that's the point where you using the TIF dollars to make sure that theirs there, because the franchise is gonna have the money from the ground up to build theirs.
Correct.
So you don't
To-
need to give them an incentive for that. They just need to be able to come in and hook up to whatever utilities that you have, the infrastructure, and keep going.
That's
Okay.
actually like your buy-in.
Okay, we
you know,
buying into
with
them.
that. Yes,
That you presenting that.
that
you
this
got
is
those
what you're able
utilities.
to do.
That sounds good. It makes sense. Makes sense.
You all are the superpower.
Mm-hmm.
You all are the council, you all are the governing authority of this, and to make sure that this money is allocated the way that it is supposed to be allocated, because it's taxpayers' dollars. So you have that responsibility in doing so. And so, again, I say that you are in a city that is definitely perpetuating growth. Here you have a major university that has not only national but international acclaim. So you have the ability to go out here and market what it is that you need to put into that district.
So also let me be out too. So we're talking about utilities and the infrastructure. So like water, you know, if you get a high-rise hotel that says that they need to have so many gallons per minute, and your current water plant does not do that. You can use those TIF dollars to upgrade your water plant for that particular project.
Okay. Okay.
That's what those dollars will be going for, is to make sure that you have that water pressure there for that
To give
business
them what they need.
what they need.
Great.
Because you can't do it from this end, you got to do it from the source.
Right.
So the source would be the water plant coming in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
in order for them to be in that TIF. So that TIF is then going to generate that money back to you anyway.
Correct.
What about I guess I'm asking too many questions.
No, you're not.
That's what we came down to.
What about if we came into a TIF district and we came in and we set up the infrastructure, we did all these different things. We built it, we put up the infrastructure, we got it ready for all you have to do is come here and look at it and put your place here. Can we use those monies for that?
What monies are you talking about?
No, we talking about TIF money that's already in the TIF district. We talking about staying in the TIF district.
Right.
And
Are you
we
talking
have
about
certain
improvements?
cities, we have
Talking about
certain
like additional parking lots?
additional parking lot, additional water, additional sewage, and all those different things. Can we pre-set those things up prior to someone coming in or us knowing of who those people might be? The reason I'm saying that, I know some other cities, they beat us out on certain things simply because they have the property already ready to go in a TIF district. They already have it ready to go. And ready to go mean they have water.
They laid the infrastructure.
Yeah, they have all that infrastructure ready to go.
So you have infrastructure already laid.
Correct.
All you just need to make sure is that is it adequate for addition?
Correct.
And if it's adequate for additional add-ons, you're fine.
Right.
So that's where the engineering studies and all that come in, and they can say, well, do we have enough water? Do we have adequate sewage? Where is the electrical coming in at? You know, is there fiber optics up this way? I mean, there's things that they're gonna ask, you know, and then drainage to make sure that the parking lot doesn't flood when it rains hard, that it has runoff and it can run off and not flood the building. If all that is in place, you're good. I mean, from what I saw earlier, from coming in off the interstate, you already got something already established. You just want to add on to it. Right. The problem is when you don't have it and it's woods, and all people can see is woods.
That's what
that's the issue that you.
That's what I'm alluding to.
Right
There,
when
just
you
what
have
you're
those
saying.
woods out there, then people have to use their imagination and vision
Right.
what it's going to be like. And you're still going to run into things because as you start taking trees down, you might see that, you know, you got to build it up in order for it to run off the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what we ran into with the Walmart. Walmart had to come in and do all of that because they were the first tenant in, and everything was woods. There was a creek that ran through there. We had to redirect the creek, all that.
Okay.
And so they put up the money to do all that because they wanted to be there because it generated $1 million sales first year.
Wow.
Sales tax.
Okay.
So therefore, it was in an area in which it was very much needed. The closest Walmart from that was Pines Road, which is about 8 miles.
8 miles.
Yeah.
Then the other one was in Bossier.
Exposure.
They had one up in Vivian. They shut down. All City, one of them. They shut down, but it was an older one. So it was much needed. As soon as they opened it up, people was there. Parking lot was full. When we cut the ribbon, the parking lot was full.
Right. And right now, just looking at the sales taxes, where everybody else stuff is down, Blanchard sales taxes up.
Stan.
Right,
Yes.
because
That
with
is-
that Walmart, and I told you all the different
That's
facilities
Facilities
they built
around it.
around it, the Wendy's, the Taco Bell, the tire shop, the AutoZone,
the banks.
the banks, and the urgent cares.
Right.
Urgent care.
All that is around it. And
Yeah,
then
it's a
they even
driving
moved,
force.
Johnny's Pizza that was down the street, up the
Up the
street,
street.
Up the
closer to
street.
that. Closer to that. And
Right.
then there's a neighborhood that they basically filled in. It had been open and vacant for years. It's filled in now. They finna start another neighborhood to the, to the west, to the
Yes.
to the north of it. Finna build another neighborhood that way.
That's a single-family homes?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, gosh,
All those are single-family homes.
that's
which-
great.
Which generate, and these houses are 200-some thousand plus, 300,000, 200, $300,000 plus. So bringing the right clients into your TIF makes a big difference.
Correct.
Because you just don't want anything just to say, okay, we got TIFs. And I mean, if the vision is just to fill it up, then that's fine. But you want a company that's gonna bring other companies to it.
Right.
And so what we looked at when working with the commission to do the TIF district in my area, we are building around the Amazon plant or Amazon facility for what we have. And we expect increased traffic to start in that area as well. And so we authored the resolution in partnership with the parish. You had the parish, you had the city, and you had the school board that enter into this particular arena with this TIF district. But as far as, and again, the city at any point can pull out and say, no, we want to do this on our own. Because we have other TIF districts that we have around Mall St. Vincent and then the entertainment district. And just to speak to what Mr. Johnson is saying, if there's no formidable business, then your TIF district is not going to generate anything.
Any money.
So you want to make sure that you are attracting the right clients within that particular district because what you're looking for is growth. You're looking for that level of growth so you can increase your bonding capacity and all of those things that you want to make sure that TIF district is always very vibrant. The infrastructure is always well. So you want to make sure that you have those particular entities that are just going to do that. Another thing, again, in this particular area that you see in common here is that when you are attracting the right clients, you also have the opportunity for growth with home ownership, with a number of other things that you all will be able to do, especially with USDA, with those particular grants and things because of the size of the city that you all have countless opportunities for growth. It's just the vision is there, and you just need to move on it.
Right.
That's great.
And I hope y'all looked at USDA for housing.
They did.
Okay.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. Yes.
You can offer some tax breaks, like you have, like I mentioned about property taxes. You can offer incentives on property tax, because once they build, that land that they build on now goes up in value. So you can offer some tax incentives for them to come.
Yes. We do.
And I would suggest making that commercial, because you don't need residential in a TIF district.
Right.
Right.
I guess the biggest thing, we have several pieces of property. We've tried to talk with them to purchase the property from them, and other folks have tried to, but we've not been able to accomplish that yet.
And it's inside the TIF, or?
Right there, yeah,
I think if
It's
you
right
change
there.
the zoning,
right, it's right there next to it, it's right there in it.
but I think if they change the
right there,
zoning, they'll be able to
Jackson
market
property,
it better.
Jackson property,
Yeah,
Jackson property.
because you have so much
It's
that's
right
going
there.
up down I-20 that they're building.
They're across the street. Mm-hmm. It did, used to be residential. Uh-huh.
No.
I don't think it
You
is.
have to
So
rezone
you
it.
have to rezone it.
So
I don't think it is.
when we did the one with the Walmart, all of that property was residential. But the owner saw the value into changing it into commercial, because once it went to commercial, the value of that property skyrocketed, especially when Walmart was coming. It skyrocketed, so he was happy. He smiled to the bank every day. I mean, he's still smiling today every time I see him.
I bet you is.
So, if there are people who do have property like that, you know, you might want to talk to them about turning it into commercial property and then seeing that value of that property goes up. If
Question.
they're willing to, you know, be a part of it.
Question. I've talked with the person that has a residential property within the TIF district. They have, let's see, 6 acres. They're willing to sell 5 acres of that property, but not 1 acre of that property that still has a structure on it. How does that affect the district?
Is it a house?
Yes.
Is it livable?
Yes. Is anybody in it? No,
Okay,
but it's livable.
okay. And that's a sticky situation, because that one should
I
have
know.
been cleared up. Should have been cleared up back in 2012
Correct.
to either buy their property, tear the house down,
They wouldn't fail.
but
They just recently surveyed it. They just recently surveyed it within the last 2 to 3 months. And they have it all sectioned off. And they are willing to sell all of it except for about an acre that has a structure on it.
well, I mean, you as a government can do a lot. You can draw that TIF or redraw the TIF,
Draw it around it,
draw it around it,
draw it around it.
draw it out of the TIF and get the other 5 acres. You can do that, and then that vote will come between the city council.
Council.
But as long as you leave that piece of property in there and you say that you want to expand, and they put a renter in the house or somebody decides to move in it, now you got to take it to the voter. Got to be voted upon.
Okay.
So I would either tell y'all to see if you can get those other 5 and keep going and draw that out. And then if he decides to sell it, draw it back in.
And, and I've seen this happen in a lot of places, even in Shreveport. I've seen it happen in Shreveport, Bossier, Ruston, what have you. You have people set up law offices, and they set up all kind of other different offices, and you still have residents mixed in between them.
Right.
So I don't see it being a huge, huge issue if we could come in and get that other 5 acres, and we could use the TIF money to purchase it.
Yes, that's improvement.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think that you need to purchase any property inside of the TIF district, because whatever business comes in is gonna purchase that property.
Right.
And let them purchase that property with the owner. What I'm saying is, if you wanna expand the boundaries of your TIF district, you can use that money to change the boundaries and then buy the property. And not anything on the inside, if you wanna expand it out. So if you get a customer comes in and their footprint is gonna exceed what you got, and you might have a better relationship with the landowner than they would coming in, and then you can go there and do it. Now, one of the things.
You hit it.
One
You
other
hit the
thing,
nail
too-
on the head. That
one
was
other thing,
it.
too, with that person who has that residential property. You know, once you start, if you start doing all that, and you come around them, and that property value increases, their property value increases too, which means their ad valorem tax is gonna increase.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're paying now for property taxes might be under the homestead if they're using it for homestead, I don't know. But if they're using it for homestead, they might not be paying nothing. But if they're not, they're paying a little sum. But as that property starts to increase, them taxes gonna go up. And then they're gonna be like, do I continue to pay these taxes on this property, or do I go ahead and sell it?
Okay.
Let me read some benefits of TIF. Some benefits of TIF. Typically, it benefits the municipality by increasing the availability of incremental revenues to fund economic development projects. And I know that was the purpose of it right here. It allows for early debt retirement and utilizing property tax increment for loans. According to one study, the addition of sales taxes in particular would result in a larger gain in the amount of incremental funds captured as the sales tax increment usually swamp the property tax increment. And sales tax increment programs have produced much revenue for their development. The use of non-property tax incremental funds also may minimize the tax consequences for jurisdictions in the TIF district when bonds cannot be retired early because the terms of the bond do not allow for prepayment. It gives the municipality the ability to handpick development projects and finance them self-sufficiently. It allows government to increase their tax base without increasing taxes. It allows cities to avoid programs like tax evasion credits or across-the-board cuts that shrink rather than grow their tax base. TIF spending requires no voter approval, provided no residency. Allows cities to choose which development projects and sometimes which companies will move to town. It gives higher tax revenues and employment rates. It may receive high tax revenues once bonds or loans are paid off. It helps finance major projects without raising taxes or decreasing public service. It attracts new business or helps existing businesses to stay or expand. You may see further tax revenue increases if projects spur economic activity in existing businesses and attract other new development. It helps eliminate blighted areas. Taxpayers enjoy new facilities. It channels funding or tax increments toward improvements in distressed or underdeveloped areas where development would not otherwise occur. And that's from the research we did a few years ago, which helped develop the TIF district in the parish as well as the city of Cleveland.
Right.
So those are all the benefits that I found, or that we found associated with the TIF district.
So we talking about blighted, some areas that need improving. That's what we're speaking of when we're saying blighted. Are we talking about
You can create a TIF in that area.
in that area?
Just like the village.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
You can create a TIF for the village.
TIF district down there and be able to get
Renovated.
grants and different things to help develop it.
Is that area not the opportunity zone? Mr. Mayor, is your area,
Is it?
is your area an opportunity zone?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But since we have the historic,
The TIF district runs down,
College Avenue,
and R.W.E. Jones.
right.
And, I've talked with the mayor. I am on this committee because I'm on the city council, but I'm not saying anything because I own property in the TIF district.
Okay.
So it could be a conflict of interest for me.
And so what we're saying then, there are possibilities of getting, securing
You can-
funds. To help improve,
As an elected official,
You
you
can
can
still-
talk about it.
You
Now, if
just
he was
can't,
appointed,
right.
If he was appointed, you can't talk about it. But as an elected official, you can talk about it, but you can't vote.
vote on it. Right. And you've already,
And it was a TIF district before I got on the council.
yes.
so, yeah, yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yes.
Any areas that you earmark
Mm-hmm.
to be one, you can make it.
Blighted property. Okay. Let's talk. Down there. Right. Across from there, where they building the new place.
Also, I want to point out too that with the TIF districts that we have in Caddo Parish and in Shreveport, it's basically set up and done by the governing bodies.
Correct.
So the ones that was in my district, the parish commission basically was the authorizing body over it. The one that she has over by Amazon, the city of Shreveport is the governing body over it. Even though the commission and the school board are part of it, it's the city of Shreveport that's the governing body. There's no boards or anything else associated with those.
Correct.
It's just the governing body that makes those decisions.
Decisions. Strictly just the council members. They're two different bodies. And we're, yes, we're
Yeah,
two
even with
different bodies.
Even the commission is the governing body.
Right.
TIF committee.
So, yes. Because you all can come together and meet as a committee, like we would sit down and meet. There's a committee between the parish, the school board, and the city, and two other business people. And we meet and we talk about these things, but the final authority and the final vote lies with the city council.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew about that one. By college, that's what,
So there should be ordinances.
Dolores may,
It
I
should be
don't.
filed in the record.
know.
It's not filed in the record. Is it filed in the record?
What it encompass? I don't know. Mm-hmm. We do.
Correct. Yeah. Are.
Mm-hmm.
She sent me some information yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to go see it through it, but it should define exactly what the boundaries of each TIF district is.
Instead of R. I think we rezoned. It's not one down there. I think we were rezoning several pieces of property down through there. Yeah. I'm not. I'm not.
I heard you all say something about blighted property. Am I correct? Did you all say something about blighted property? That, okay, that property across the interstate where uh, that was blighted property until the police jury, uh, assigned that to us or gave it to us. It was blighted property. Yeah, close to, like you're going into, right, Mount Olive, it's right there where the law office was.
Henderson's law office.
That's our property as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that was blighted property that was given to us, by the police jury.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
They said you could, am I correct?
I'm a, I'm throwing my hand up not to be a killer, but Mayor, that's where we plan on putting the next fire station. And the thing about it, with growth, you have to be able to take care of whatever you have and things like that. The only fire station we have is here, and that was a place that we had looked at putting a fire station that could cover a larger area. But we don't have to. Mhm. And to help you maybe think about it, and the council members to think more about it, another fire station that is manned would help increase our ratings, make our ratings better. And our ratings, fire rating, is one of the things that's going to help bring businesses in. The rating itself, because it's going to have the insurance rating a lot lower. Right, it'll help the homeowners, it'll help everybody by putting it there. So we have to think about that, see which one is the most advantageous for us. Further scrutiny? Okay. Very. Mm-hmm.
I have not seen them do their resolution yet as it relates to that, because still they receive their money from property taxes as well. And so it hasn't been a definitive on their part. More so it has been for the city and the parish.
So typically, I'm gonna break it down in more layman terms, school board doesn't have to do anything. They're gonna get their money anyway.
Correct.
So as we go out and find businesses to come into, school board is gonna get their money anyway. And then Caddo Parish, they get about 75 meals out of 130 something. So they get over half of the meals
Correct.
coming in. So they really ain't gotta do nothing. They just collect the money, along with the sheriff department.
Correct.
Public, So one last thing, I know when Dr. Williams was asking about the school board, she's school board member, and a nearby place, school board, the parish, police jury, the city, the sheriff department, my grandmother, everybody was a part of that TIF committee that wrote off on it. They signed off on it. And I guess the question I want to ask, what are the advantages of giving up taxes for, let's say, 5 years?
What's the advantage for the business, is what you're asking?
It's a business going there.
Was the advantage to them, or was the advantage
Advantage
to the
to the
city?
city.
or the-
What is the advantage to the 5 other people that I just mentioned to you? What is the advantage if we as a city give it up, police jury gives it up, sheriff department, school board, everybody else? What advantage is it to us to give the taxes up that it would be generating for the next 5 years?
Okay, I can answer it from a manufacturing perspective.
Okay,
That's what I work in.
please do.
So, and I'm gonna ask this question first.
Okay.
You a homeowner, right?
Uh-huh.
You go in, you go and remodel your home. Put in new appliances, new floors, paint the walls. So you basically saying that you're increasing the value of your home.
Right.
Now, will you call the tax assessor to say, come to my house because I've upgraded everything and I want higher taxes? I'm asking. Nobody in here would say.
Nobody will do that. No.
Right, all right.
Nobody.
So when you're looking at the manufacturing sector, what they do, they reinvest into their company. They might have a $30 million project. We've had some $30 million, $100 million projects. And what we're doing is making sure that the equipment will last longer, bringing in new equipment, hiring new people that will then, it's a quality of life change. So a lot of those will say probably was making, I'm gonna say 40,000. Now they come up to make a job that's 100,000. So what that does, it puts them into a new house.
Correct,
That puts them into new cars.
correct,
That puts their kids into new vehicles as well.
correct,
And so it's a domino effect.
right.
So by you saying we have a $100 million project and you're gonna do a tax abatement of, we're gonna say 30 million of that 100 million. That's still $70 million that's been taxed some kind of way. Where it's been payroll tax to consultants coming in, engineers coming in, buying equipment, overtime, payroll taxes. It's been taxed anyway. So you're only abating about $30 million. And that's over a period of, right now, you can do it for 5 years with the new ITEP. So,
Right.
and then you have to renew it
Renew it
another
in
5
5
years.
Another 5 years.
And it's only
Correct.
80% of that now as max, where it used to be 100%. So what that does is it gives that company a tax break, not a significant tax break, but it's a tax break in order to be able to continue to improve their facility and to also offer new jobs coming in.
Okay. But
And
it's,
that's on the manufacturing sector.
it
That's what
is,
I've been talking about.
nothing to guarantee that that's exactly what they're gonna do with that. If they
Well,
get-
I can
Is
say about another manufacturing company that was there, they had the same setup. They ended up, during COVID, they ended up going out of business. They filed bankruptcy, went out of business. So the tax breaks that they got, they had to turn around and pay them back.
Correct.
Oh,
I was
okay,
the first person that said.
Okay.
I was the first person that said they gotta pay the money back.
Right.
okay.
And everybody looked at me, because I'm always pro-industry.
Mm-hmm,
But they looked at me crazy. I said, no, they didn't fulfill their end of the bargain.
absolutely.
So if they don't fulfill
Agreed.
their end of the bargain, then they gotta pay the money back.
We had two, I think, that had to pay the money back.
Y'all had, you had two?
Yeah, I think we had two that had to turn around and pay the money back.
That makes sense to me.
Yes.
A lot of that makes sense.
But quality of life is always the incentive. Because when you have individuals that make a higher wage, then it is going to improve upon your city. And that's
Right.
where, and that's what you want. You want to be able to always generate tax dollars, because if people are not working, you can't
You can't
generate
pay
any tax
taxes.
dollars. So
You're
you
not
want
getting
them
any
to
taxes.
have,
Correct.
you want to attract a company that is going to invest not only in your infrastructure by, bringing their product in, but you also want to make sure that those individuals invest in its people, because you want to make sure that you have people that consistently want to come to Grambling. You have a major institution here that brings individuals from all over the United States. So each one of those individuals that come here, they're coming with their parents' money or their money. So you want to make sure that this town is vibrant as possible, whereas they're not leaving Grambling
To go elsewhere.
to go elsewhere and make their city great, while we're sitting up here trying to figure out what we're gonna do.
Okay? Sounds good.
And so I use General Motors, for example.
Okay.
If General Motors was to come to Grambling, you would make sure that you would offer tax incentives.
Oh, we
Correct.
give them the world.
My point is that, so.
Let them come.
But that's what I'm saying. You understand what the company is.
Yeah, I
and
understand
Right.
exactly what,
economic
I
impact.
understand,
Correct.
because it makes so much sense when you're talking about the amount of, you're talking about the amount of pay, and everything, and people would come in and live in the city and build in the city. Those are things that's gonna pump revenue into the city
Correct.
itself.
So
So
they
what
deal
you're
with-
Not
saying
only
makes
that,
sense.
but also utilities.
Correct,
Utilities?
yes,
Yeah,
We pay $1 million a month utilities.
Wow.
Electric,
yes,
just on electric.
yes.
And we the biggest customer for the city of Shreveport for water.
Okay,
So that's a big impact. So if that
Correct.
was to go away, the demand goes
Right.
away. And now you gotta look at layoffs
Correct,
because you don't have the money to support all that.
that's
So
right.
you look at the economic impact. You get somebody to come in and say, okay, this company wants to come in, they want tax breaks. Don't just do it on just, okay, I feel good about it. Do it based upon formulation that engineers have put together to say, this is the economic impact that this company will bring to you as a return on investment.
right.
Okay, it outweighs yeah,
Yeah, they look at
it
different factors.
outweighs it.
They look at different factors of how many jobs gonna be
Correct.
created, what's the average typical wage.
Mm-hmm.
They look at the longevity of that company, is one that's been around a long time. And they look at all that, and then they'll tell you the return on investment, and you'll know, yes, we need to do a tax abatement, or no, we don't.
Right,
Because every
Okay.
company that goes to third places,
It's-
some cities give them breaks, but they never see,
Right.
never
Right.
see the return.
right. And that's what I was thinking of too, because they're,
Work with NLVP?
They are part. So y'all
Also a part of
it's a good
y'all are part of
NLEP?
North Louisiana Economic Partners.
Are y'all a part of that?
I don't know.
North
NLP,
Louisiana Economic Partners.
North, NLP,
Yeah. Since Mr. Dixon is very good of going in and that's
bring him to
another,
some of
you
these
need to bring him to this meeting. Justin Dixon.
Justin Dixon.
Yes, yes, you do. You need to bring him to your meetings, and then you all need to share what is it in the vision that you see for this city, because that's what they do. You looking for larger scale projects, that's what they do.
So this area is prime with
Very.
wooded area.
Correct.
And this is the piney wood part of Louisiana.
okay,
And what they do is look at areas in which they consider industrial parks. And so the infrastructure needs to be in there to be called a certified industrial park. But if you can ID a park and then over the years get it where the utilities get to it, then it becomes certified. Once it becomes certified, now you got bigger businesses looking at coming here to put a plant or some type of industry.
yeah, that's what I was alluding to earlier in our conversation.
Right.
So
Getting
you,
it-
Justin
getting
Justin
it
can,
ready.
can put you on the
Justin can
process
put, right,
to get that
Yeah,
done.
getting it somewhat
Correct.
ready.
Because you got the land. They're not
Exactly.
landlocked
Right,
right.
in the city.
right.
You
Okay.
have that opportunity to do that.
Okay, great. Great.
Let me encourage
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You got 2 minutes? So move. Aye. All right. 2 minutes.
He talking. She's not here tonight. Right. Councilman Lewis, waiting on you. It's okay. I know. This meeting is called to order. May we stand for prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Prayer will be led by Reverend Anderson. Amen. Amen. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda? Tonight's agenda, February the 1st, City Council meeting.
Mayor,
You want to do that now? Oh, yeah, we got to add that to the agenda.
And Mayor,
We have a couple of things we want to add to the agenda. Go ahead.
also, we need to add under new business, hiring of David Key, sanitation engineer. Hiring of David Key, sanitation engineer.
Okay. And the second one is the grant resolution for signature. Okay. Okay, I'll take it one by each one separately. Are there any public comments on the hiring of David Keefe? David Keefe is a new sanitation worker that has been recommended and interviewed for hiring by Councilman Lewis and Councilman Bryan and Chief Clark, and has been recommended for hiring. He's going to be working in our sanitation department on the sanitation truck. Are there any public comment on the USDA resolution? Okay. Can I get a motion to add that to the agenda, hiring David Keefe? It's been moved by Councilman Lewis and second by Council Lady Giles that we add the hiring of David Keefe to the agenda. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? The second one is the USDA resolution. It was signed by the former mayor, and now they're requesting that we update our signature for this USDA grant. And it's for a police vehicle. Can I get a motion to add it to the agenda? It's been moved by Councilman Lewis and second by Council Lady Giles that we add the USDA resolution for updated signature. Any question? A public comment? I'm sorry. Any public comment? Thank you, Ron. Previous question. Are there any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? The motion is carried. So we have added the hiring of David Keefe and the signature for USDA resolution updated. Can I get a motion to accept the agenda with the necessary additions? Mhm. It's been moved by Councilman Lewis and that we accept the agenda with the necessary corrections, the hiring of David Keefe and the USDA updated resolution signature. Are you ready for the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Can I get a motion to adopt the previous meeting for January 2024 City Council meeting?
Second.
It's been moved by Council Lady Smith that we adopt the previous minutes for January 2024 City Council meeting, and second by Councilman John Brown, Jr. Are you ready for the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. The previous minutes are adopted. We are up to the point of our public comment in our city council meeting. Anyone that would love to give us public comment, you may do so at this time. Okay. Going once? Okay, I see there are none. We have Mr. Richard Anderson, candidate for Louisiana Democratic State Central Committee member. Are you here tonight? Okay,
Mayor Bradley, members of the Grambling Council, administrative staff, ladies and gentlemen. Want to introduce myself. My name is Richard Anderson. My address for the record is okay. I'll start over. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Mayor Bradley, members of the council, administrative staff, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Richard Anderson. For the record, my address is 207 Meredith Lane in Western Louisiana. It's located just outside the city limits, but I feel like I am a neighbor of this area. I've been here for a few months, but I've been basically educated in this area, especially from post-high school years when I took classes at both Grambling and Louisiana Tech, ultimately received my bachelor's degree from Louisiana Tech in public administration and political science. The reason why I'm here tonight, because I come to ask to introduce myself to the community. And I'm a retired person, I ain't got nothing to do, so looking at the political situation in the state of Louisiana and what we need to do, I was always taught to either step up or else forever be quiet. And I'm not a type of person that would be quiet. The people that I have met here since I've been here really made me feel at home. So thank you very, very much for that. On March the 23rd, I'm gonna be put on the ballot. It's a few of us on there. President Biden probably gonna get most of our votes, but we got 2 people on the women's side to be on the Democratic State Central Committee, and 3 guys that's gonna be on the men's side of the Democratic State Committee. Frankly, the Democratic State Central Committee is the government authority for the Louisiana Democratic Party. And I've been lifelong Democrat, and I'm still proud to be a Democrat. In spite of what's been happening in the last 2 to 5 years in the state of Louisiana. I'm married, I've been married, I still am married to one woman for 47 years, got 2 sons, 4 grandkids, and 1 great-grandchild. Up until a couple of years ago, we was out in Texas, but had roots here in Louisiana. But what you're seeing tonight is a miracle. I was hit blindsided in the parking lot going to work, basically they were saying the last prayers for me. But as you see, they mended my leg and mended my arms and everything. I'm standing here before you, and tonight I'm very excited. On coming to March the 23rd, there are 3 men on the ballot that I failed to mention. But my ballot number is number 3. I feel that is the only number that you should consider in this race. I've been with Democratic Party politics, Louisiana and otherwise, since 1971. I may be a stranger to most people here, but to people that really knows what's going on, they know about Richard Anderson. So I've been working with the Boy Scouts, been working with Cattle Parish government. I also been a military officer for 13 years. So I feel like I'm ready. For the record, if y'all want to get in touch with me, I'm willing to talk with you at any time. My telephone number for the record, I have a cell phone right here, and it rings 24 hours a day, and I will answer it. It's 945-786-0451. But I'm very excited.
Can you repeat it again?
Yeah, it is 9.
It's on the back of your card.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the back of the car? Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. But I'm looking forward to getting to know each and every one of you, and no question that you ask between now and March 23rd will be out of line. And whether we win or lose, losing ain't in my vocabulary, but when we win and we go to Baton Rouge, that I am accountable to each and every one of you. If I don't do my job right, and you make a fuss in this forum or in a related forum, y'all have a right to fire me. And I've been with one family for that many years. My dad always told me, your word is your bond. So that's what I'm all about. So if anybody got any questions,
Well, thank you, Mr. Anderson, for your time tonight. And if anybody have any other questions, certainly if you hang around till the council meeting is over with, they can ask those questions at that time.
be glad to. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Clark.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Citizens assembled. We don't have but a few items we need to bring to your attention from the police department. And the first one being, we want to just encourage our citizens on juvenile issues. We want you to contact the police. We really don't want you to try to chastise or confront a juvenile, because we had about 3 issues this month where some parents tried to talk to the juvenile about something going on, but the juvenile parents was upset because they don't want anybody talking to their, chastising their kids. So we need to do it. It's different now. We got a different youth culture, and you can't chastise them like they did when we all was growing up. You just can't do that. So if you have any issues with a juvenile, sometimes they won't get out the roadway, anything like that. If you can avoid them and go around, just call us so our officer can go out there and clear the roadway or whatever they need to do, and we'll take care of it. But please don't confront them. We still need people to lock their vehicles and remove valuables if possible. And if you're not going to remove them, at least put them out of sight. We're still having purses, firearms, credit cards, even high volumes of cash being taken out of vehicles that's left in plain sight. And that's just a going thing around the nation with people pulling door handles. And even though you have cameras, we can get it on the news out to the media, but that's not a guarantee that we're gonna catch that perpetrator. So help us out by locking your vehicles and removing valuables if you can't lock it. And we want to also inform the citizens that all information coming out, both informational and emergency messages, are now being pushed out by the Civic Ready program. And we want you to kind of, don't get immune to it and just click it off. We want you to look at it, read the message, and try to, adhere to it. Or if you got any questions, make sure you reach out to the police department and someone, be able to just check the website and you'll know what's going on. One message we got out now, the interstate is under construction. It's going to be, they told us it's about 2 weeks, but that's depending on the weather. And now, see, I got a weather alert that it's going to start raining the weekend, so I'm sure that's going to hold it up for a few days and start bagging it up on the date of notification. And if you know that, completion, if you notice traffic on both on Old Grambling Road, which Highway 150, and on Highway 80 has increased because the traffic is bagging up beyond Tarbud. So people start, GPS will put them off on a faster route, which is going to be at that State Highway or US 80. So that's when you're seeing all this flux of traffic, like starting around 2 p.m. They telling me it start around 2 and run till about 6:30 or 7. Because they're doing it daily out there, and they try to clear it out and get out of there about 5:30. So just work with us on that. If you can avoid traveling during that time or in that area, it probably would be better for you. And that's all we have from the police department.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Next we have is Attorney Latier going to give us our next steps or update with the Economic Development Corporation.
I'll be brief. As y'all know, we filed a petition for involuntary dissolution of the GEDC, and we had a hearing before Judge Lamont and went a week or two ago, and GEDC basically said that the city council had no right, no cause to proceed against the GEDC, and the court ruled that that is wrong. The city council, as the local governing authority, does have full right pursuant to 33 Code Analysis 6 to proceed toward dissolution of the GDC in conjunction with Title 12, Section 251, which talks about a voluntary dissolution of corporation. So again, we're going to proceed with the necessary litigation and with a trial date and do what we need to do to make sure we protect taxpayer money for the citizens of Grambling.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Latier. Next we have is a resolution. Last month, we accepted a donation of a street into Lincoln Prep, and now we need to do a resolution approving the acceptance, and the name is, I kind of polled the council, and nobody had any opposition, or if you do have any opposition, you can state so at this time. But the name that was proposed by Gordon Ford, I'm trying to get the right name. Is it Dr. Gardenford or?
No, he's not a
Yeah,
doctor.
okay. He's the over at Lincoln Prep. He recommended that Dr. Burdex Copeland Jr. And I talked to Councilman Lewis. He said Avenue would be more appropriate. So with the resolution I'm asking that we sign the resolution accepting the street dedication in the name of Dr. Burdex Copeland Jr. Avenue. Can I get a motion? It's been moved by Council Lady Smith and second by Council Lady Giles that we move forward with the resolution approving the acceptance of the street, and the name of the street is Dr. Burdex Copeland Jr. Avenue. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Also, we have an introduction of an ordinance for short-term rentals here in the city of Grambling. Council Lady Smith and I believe Mrs. Gibson have been working on it. Will you all give us like an update so the citizens would know exactly what has been going on?
We realize that Grambling has had more short-term rentals of recent times, and in order for the city to be able to identify where those units are, because primarily they're in residential areas, and so in order for us to be able to identify where they are, we thought it was necessary. We're not trying to keep anybody from making money from renting their properties, but we want to be sure that the neighborhood is suitable and that the neighbors know exactly what's going on where they're living. So in order to do that, we decided to bring it to the Planning and Zoning Committee and to look at putting in short-term rental ordinance.
Thank you. Ms. Gibson, you got anything to add to that? Is she still here?
Yes, the only thing I would like to add to that it was brought to the Planning and Zoning Committee, and we approved, the Planning and Zoning approved the initial information for short-term rentals.
Okay.
Ms. Gibson did a lot of work, as well as Councilwoman Smith did a lot of work on this, and we actually went through and looked at some other cities that had the same type of ordinances, and so we kind of patterned that to fit the needs of the city of Grambling. So when y'all have a chance, just kind of look at it, and if we need to tweak it here and there, we'd be glad to do so.
We have some time.
Yeah, but it's a very good document that they worked on, very good, very good.
So can I get a motion to introduce an ordinance for short-term rentals for the city of Grambling?
Yes, I make a motion that we introduce the ordinance for short-term rental service just presented.
It's been motioned by Council Member John Brown Jr. that we introduce an ordinance for the short-term rentals, and second by Council Lady Giles. Are you ready for the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. We need to set a time for a public hearing for the ordinance at our next council meeting, which would be March 7th at 5:45. I'm sorry, 5:45. 15 minutes before council meeting. Okay, next on the agenda is the hiring of David Keefe. David Keefe has been interviewed by Councilman Lewis and Councilman Brown. Do y'all have any comments on that?
Yes, just a quick snapshot. He really blew us away, the interview committee. This young man has 3 years of experience. In those 3 years, he did not even have a first aid incident. He has maintenance experience. He's heavily safety-driven. He believes in having pre-inspection sheets filled out before they begin work. He also believes in safety briefings before they make their route. He's a strong believer in PPE. Again, he was just a great delight to interview this young man. He pays attention to detail and is a team player and has no problems with coming to work early in the morning staying if he has to work 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours. Again, I think we knocked it out of the park with this young man. I'm just excited when he gets started. We all are, the interview.
Thank you.
I do agree, I concur. He was someone I think the city would be happy to have.
And I want to thank you guys for taking out your time and coming in and doing the interview process. And I understand Chief Clark was there as well.
Chief Clark.
Right, so, can I get a motion for the hiring of Mr. David Key as a employee in our sanitation department?
So move.
It's been moved by Councilman Lewis and second by Council Lady Giles that we move forward with the hiring of Mr. David Key in our sanitation department. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. We have here that we did add to the agenda. I apologize for trying to get this, we got this to you late. Usually I try to get this ahead of time so we can discuss it. But we got a request from Rural Development, USDA, to upgrade the signature page on the grant application. And it was formally signed by the former mayor, Ed Jones, and they wanted an updated signature page for this USDA grant. And it's for a police vehicle. Can I get a motion to giving me permission to update the signature on the USDA grant?
That's second.
It's been moved by Council Lady Smith and second by Councilman John Brown Jr. that we update the USDA grant signature page. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. We are down to the announcements. Are there any announcements?
Yes, I have one, Mayor.
Oh,
You
okay.
can go first, Council Lady.
Good afternoon or evening.
evening.
Plans are underway for our Juneteenth activities, Juneteenth 2024. And we are starting off with a Black History prayer breakfast on February 24th here at City Hall. And we are asking all of you to support our efforts in trying to carry on this Juneteenth for 2024.
What time? Prayer breakfast.
Time.
What time is the
9 to
prayer?
11?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
9 to 11,
Okay.
Is that a Saturday?
last Saturday in February.
Oh. You gonna make a note of that? Okay. Are there any more announcements?
Yes,
I
sir.
have one. Go ahead,
Okay.
go ahead, Councilman
Yes,
Brown.
Chief Clark talked about the lane closure near exit 81, which is the Grambling exit. There's also going to be a lane closure from February 5th through March 1st. Sewer line improvements will take place along R.W.E. Jones Drive. During this time, lane closure will occur as crew works are working, and additional updates will be provided. And for citizens who have signed up for Civic Ready, you've already received these notifications. However, if you have not signed up for Civic Ready, please do so. Since we've gone live in September of last year, Civic Ready has sent out approximately 20 alerts that were either emergency or community notifications which impacted our city of Grambling. So it's very important to sign up so you can get pertinent information. Thank you. I do have some sign-up sheets of those who have not done it, want the instructions on how to do it. I have some here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Well said, well done. Anything we can do to encourage our citizens to sign up for Civic Ready. If you have a neighbor that has not been signed up, an elderly person, please do so. aunt, a nephew, a niece, please sign up for Civic Ready. That will be so important in light of things going on around in our community. That's how we can get the word out real quick and keep you informed as to what's going on. I have, any other announcements?
I have one more. I
Okay.
see Ms. Black here, and I know I've been mentioning the street sign installation that's going to begin. Well, unfortunately, due to the bad weather, that pushed us back. So just bear with us. So we anticipate starting on that within the next 2 weeks.
A great job. Womack and Son, just to add to what Councilman Brown has said, that Womack and Son is the contractor of record that will be doing the force main on R.W.E. Jones, as well as rehabbing 11 lift stations throughout the city of Grambling. So they're starting on R.W. Jones, but however, once that is completed, we will start rehabbing lift stations in various communities throughout the city of Grambling. One other thing that I would like to make an announcement is that February 6th and February 7th is the GSU presidential search will be on campus. So there we will be putting that on our city website and as well as our Facebook page to let you know that the candidates will be on campus, the times they will be on campus, and you will have an opportunity to meet and greet the candidates yourself. This is very important, and I'll encourage each and every person, or each and every citizen to come out and meet these candidates. It's going to be very important as we move forward in the future of Grambling State University, which has a very impact on our city as well. Any other? I see you stand up, Real. Yeah, yeah, we had public comments at the beginning of the council meeting. You got something in writing you want to leave with us? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Once the ordinance is approved, the places that already have short-term rentals will be given a period of time to file that information with the city of Grambling.
Thank you. Get wisdom, get knowledge, but above all, get a great understanding. Any other announcements? I want to thank you, the council, for the work that you've done, Attorney Latier for work that you are doing, as well as Council Lady Tabitha Taylor and my newfound friend Lyndon Johnson for coming in and sharing with us in our TIF district meeting. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
So moved. That's you, Sister Giles? Okay. It's been moved by Sister Giles and second by Councilman Lewis that we adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.
Pam, do you need this back, these folders? Did you
Oh,
need
John,
these?